It's almost 3 weeks you're out of your home. You're in, unknown place, very tough. Days, nights become days. You're on your feet all the time. So you have to be careful about your health. It's your body is an amana which God has given you. So if you're not careful, you can't perform the Hajj. If you let go and you overexert yourself, you overdo, which is not even allowed in Islam, then you won't be able to perform your Hajj. So just a few points. Number one, so hygiene, very important, and general cleanliness, right? As we know, Islam is cleanliness. If you are clean, you will get less diseases. And lots of people there, almost 2 million people, you're together with each other. So if you are hygiene and the other person is hygiene, everyone is clean, less chances of getting diseases. So a few points. Make sure you wash your hands every time. The frequent washing of hands will prevent diseases. And the most common diseases there are either what we call diarrhea, okay, or vomiting, and that's from what you call fecal oral. So you touch dirty places and then you go and eat, or you eat uncooked food. Those are the things which will give you diarrhea. So avoid, number one, avoid uncooked food. All right, avoid things like salads which have stayed out for a long time. Fruits, vegetables, make sure you clean them well before you eat. Okay, don't buy on the streets and just eat them. Make sure you wash them properly before you eat. And especially for the fruits, the good thing is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us some fruits which they're covering. So it's good to eat those fruits, like bananas. You peel something you can peel and eat rather than just picking it up and eating, right? That's number one. Number two, you'll have problems sometimes getting into the washroom, cleanliness. So make sure you continuously, if it's 3-4 times a day, just make sure you wash your hands as much as possible. And so the other things to avoid is on the streets. If you have food on the streets, try to avoid them, because if you have, your group probably will organize something to eat which is hot. So eat something which is hot, and that's where the bacteria or the viruses have been avoided. The other thing most of the people get is cold, flu. You hear a lot of people coughing in the haram. So something to avoid is, if you sneeze, don't sneeze into your hands. Get a handkerchief, sneeze into that handkerchief. Or if you sneeze into your shoulder. Make your shoulder like this and sneeze. And so this very common habit of sneezing into your hands, and then you go and shake your hands with the other guy, and that's how you spread your illnesses. So sneeze into your shoulder, sneeze into your handkerchief, okay. And again, washing hands is very common problem. The other thing is heat. This is very hot right now, especially there is very hot. So heat exertion. So again, avoid very sunny places. You want to do tawaf at the midday. You can do tawaf when the sun is a little lower, right? Take umbrellas if it's very hot, white umbrellas or light shade umbrellas, and take adequate fluids. So the main thing about heat is dehydration, and if you get dehydrated and you have other problems, you have other chronic illnesses like again kidney problems, then that gets worse. So make sure you get adequate fluids. Again, clean water. The best water is Zamzam water. Okay, it's available most of the places, and sometimes you can have your ORS, the oral rehydration solution, which you can make and sip it every now and then so that you can avoid dehydration. So the other thing is get a good rest. You say, I've come here, it's my first and last time, I'm not going to sleep. I'll just go pray all night. The Prophet himself said there's time for everything, right? There's time to sleep, there's time to fast, there's time to eat, there's time to do, you have to rest, okay? You get these illnesses of cold because your immunity comes down. And the immunity comes down because you don't get rest. You need to rest for your body to, rejuvenate itself, right? So sleep and rest are good things to do. Again, so avoid heavy foods. Avoid heavy foods. Don't eat a lot of oily foods. Take light meals, which will be easier for your stomach. Because if you start taking heavy foods, you get acidity, you get constipation, and these are problems you want to avoid during your Hajj periods. The next is vaccines. I think vaccines, you have your group leaders will tell you which vaccines you take. Usually recommended vaccines are yellow fever, meningococcal vaccines, flu vaccine. They know which strain of flu is more common at that period. So if you take the vaccine, and then pneumococcal vaccine for against pneumonia. So I think the required ones are either the most required one is yellow fever, but the others are all optional. And you can liaise with your Hajj guide on what to do. Again, wear light clothes. Okay, don't wear very heavy clothes. And the other thing is, if you have chronic illnesses, patients who have chronic illnesses, people who have high blood pressure, diabetes. High blood pressure, diabetes, very common nowadays in our communities. Kidney problems. So you have to be careful about your health, right? Take adequate medications which can last you for the entire period of your Hajj, and don't forget to take your medicines there as well. Okay, make sure you're taking your medicines there regularly. And if you have a problem, alhamdulillah, it's very, very well organized. You have clinics very, after every few steps, especially in Mina, you have a clinic. And if you get sick, if you get fever, don't hesitate. Go and see the doctor there. They're very helpful. They have all the, medications. They will help you with that treatment. So diabetes, high blood pressure, people with asthma also, there's a lot of dust there. So be careful about the dust and make sure you take your medications as well. Excellent. Yeah, so that's the last point. Medications. So medications, as I said, you have to, take a few ORS. That's oral rehydration solution. Keep it handy, because it's 50% of the chance you're going to get diarrhea there, because the food sometimes it stayed out for a long time uncooked and you have it. So if you get dehydrated with the diarrhea, make sure you take adequate ORS, at least 2 to 3 liters a day of fluids. 2 to 3 liters a day of fluids is adequate. So these are just the salts. Don't take only, if you have diarrhea, don't only take free water. Because if you take only water without the salts, because you're losing the salts in the sweat, in the diarrhea, then that can cause more problem to you. So make sure you take ORS. 2 is painkillers. Again, painkillers, avoid taking a lot of painkillers, especially like, things like diclofenac, brufen. Avoid those ones, because you're already dehydrated, and if you take those ones, then they can affect your other parts of the body, like, the kidneys, the heart. So what you do is, best painkiller is paracetamol, Panadol. Or if you've really pain somewhere, just take Panadol. If you have fever, if you have sore throat, if you have flu, just take Panadol regularly. Usually all these infections are viruses, so usually don't need antibiotics unless you have very severe fever. Then I would suggest just get a course of antibiotics, which would be like ciprofloxacin or augmentin, just in case, But all these antibiotics, if you go to clinics there, you would get them there. So 1, ORS, number 1. 2, painkillers like Panadol, make sure you have adequate of them. 3, a dose of antibiotics, either ciprofloxacin or augmentin. Anything else? Anything else you think you need to take? Yeah, those are enough, right? Antihistamines, maybe antihistamine. Yeah, Imodium. So again, diarrhea is a way of getting away the waste products, the infection. All right, if you get diarrhea, watch for 1 or 2 days. It should go away. I would rather take yogurt, okay, things like yogurt, some honey. I would leave the Imodium towards the last resort, because alhamdulillah, that's a mechanism of our body to get rid of all the bacteria or whatever we're having into the diarrhea. But if your diarrhea is, a lot, you have been dehydrated, 2 days of diarrhea, then just take, 1 or 2 Imodiums, and that would sort it out. You're not going there to eat. The best food there is dates, zamzam, a little bread, yogurt. That's enough for you to go. A little protein, okay, which is well cooked, chicken. Again, Nashad will tell me about halal and all that issues, but that would be, you and your Hajj guide who will take care of most of the food. Avoid oily foods. Oily foods just disturb your tummy. You'll feel tired. You'll feel weak. You don't want to do anything. You just want to sleep. So inshallah, whoever is going, have a blessed Hajj and Hajj Maqbool, inshallah.